to Chicago Cubs baseball on CSN, presented to you by State Farm. Overcast, warm, and a possible threat of rain here in St. Louis. It is game 2 of a 3-game series. The Cubs a 5-0 winner last night. Great to have you with us. The Cubs and the Cardinals tonight. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. Well, everything went just about perfectly last night, didn't it?
Yeah, really well-played game. The starting pitching was outstanding. John Lackey on top of his game. Some big swings. Early on, those pitchers really ruled the day, including Mike Leake, the starter for the Cardinals. He was really sharp early on, and these guys were just mowing down hitters. The game was on pace to be about an hour and a half, the way they were clipping along. Leake finally left a couple out over the plate. Dexter Fowler got into 2 of those, a leadoff double, then a home run in the mid-innings. John Lackey helped his own cause by picking on that breaking ball and delivering an RBI single to left field.
Chris Bryant would add on, a little blooper out into right, so the Cubs were able to take advantage of a Cardinal error to add some insurance. Cubs with their second shutout of the season. Remember, 9-0 in the opener at Anaheim, and John Lackey did just what everybody wants to see the starting staff do, and they've done it for these first 2 weeks, every night.
Quality work every single time for the Cubs starting pitchers. They have the best team ERA in Major League Baseball. They have the tied for the best starters ERA at 2.18 in Major League Baseball. John Lackey, with the win last night, has beaten all 30 Major League teams, and he punched out 11, just one shy of his career high. Not bad for a 37-year-old.
And on this offense, the Cubs right now the second best offensive club in terms of runs per game, behind the Cardinals, who were shut out last night. It's interesting, JD, there are a lot of low averages in this lineup right now, but we've seen some very good quality at-bats.
Well, especially that first week of the season, that first road trip, the Cubs worked a lot of walks. They had 2 games in which they walked 10 times. Not so much of that lately, and that's the scary news for the pitchers in the National League. This team is still winning games, still scoring runs, even though a lot of these guys have not gotten hot yet.
All right, we'll talk in a few minutes about the starting pitching matchup. We'll have a studio update, and we will get you set for Cubs baseball. The Cubs and the Cardinals from St. Louis coming up.
Baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Mound matchup tonight, number 4 starters. Right-hander for the Cubs, lefty for the Cardinals. Let's start with Jason Hamill.
Jason Hamill's got a tough act to follow, doesn't he, with what Lackey did here last night, but he's off to a very good start this year. He's pitched twice. He allowed 1 run on 6 innings in his first start last time out against the Reds. 6 innings of shutout ball. He was able to pitch around 4 walks in that ball game.
Jaime Garcia may be a key guy for the Cardinals. When he's been healthy the last few years, he's been very good. It's just been keeping him on the field.
Yeah, limited starts. He made just 20 last year. The 2 years prior, not much work at all for Garcia. Crafty left-hander. You don't think of him as a strikeout pitcher, but boy, he really lit it up last time. 13 punch-outs and a complete game 1 hitter over the Brewers.
That backdoor cutter could be an issue for the righties.
Cutter, good changeup. Typically gets a lot of ground ball outs. The Cubs haven't seen him in the regular season since 2012. He did pitch in the division series last year.
All right, Cubs and Cardinals, middle game of the series. The Cubs off to their best 13-game start since 1970. 10 up and 3 down after a 5-1 win last night. First pitch is next. Along, we lost a member of the Cubs family today. Milt Pappas, former Cubs pitcher, who in 1972 no-hit the San Diego Padres. And the answer to the question for the next 36 years, who was the last Cub to throw a no-hitter? It was Milt Pappas before Carlos Zambrano in 2008. Milt was great. We would always see him at the ballpark. He rooted for the Cubs. After he retired, he sang the 7th inning stretch every year. Milt Pappas has passed away at age 76. And we get set for baseball tonight. And we should remind people, Milt Pappas won 209 games in his long Major League career.
He won as many
All-Star.
games as Hall of Famer Don Drysdale. Had a heck of a career, made a couple All-Star teams.
If tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup as per usual. It's Dexter Fowler at the top with Jason Hayward right behind him. Chris Bryant heating up with a couple of home runs over his last half dozen games. Rizzo, Soler, and Zobrist occupy the middle of the order. Montero, Russell, and Hamill at the bottom.
Cardinals defensively. A couple of changes in the lineup tonight. Grichuk gets a start tonight. He's in center, flanked by Holiday in left. Hazelbaker, who played center last night, will slide over and play right. Carpenter's at third base. You'll see him just about every day there. Ruben Tejada, the former Met, gets to start at shortstop. The kid Diaz made an error last night on a rocket off the bat of Jorge Soler. Wong and Adams on the right side of the infield. Yadier Molina has won 8 Gold Gloves. He's the catcher, and the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jaime Garcia. Boy, and he almost got perfection last time out. A one-hit complete game, 13 strikeout performance. Has been 4, at least entering play today, 4 complete games in Major League Baseball this year. He authored one of them. So 2 starts, 1-0 with a 2.40 ERA, lifetime 53 and 32 with a 3.29, and a lifetime ERA of 2.63 here in this ballpark.
The umpires tonight, that's the crew chief Jerry Davis back of the plate. Sam Holbrooks at first, Rob Drake at second, Carlos Torres is over at third. And a reminder, a special note to our viewers watching on Comcast Sportsnet. We will be leaving this game at 8 p.m. Central for Blackhawks pregame live. This game is currently available on CSN Plus, so you are welcome to switch over now to catch the game in its entirety, or we will remind you in about 45 minutes. Switch hitting Dexter Fowler against Garcia. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. So as JD mentioned in the open, it's been a while since Garcia's faced the Cubs in the regular season. They did see him briefly, just 2 innings in game 2 of last year's division series here, and he gave up a bunch of unearned runs, 5 on 4 hits.
That's been a bit of an issue for the Cardinals here in the early going. They've committed 15 errors. That's the most in Major League Baseball. So he'll throw 2 and 4-seam fastballs. Typically works around the knees, but every now and then he'll elevate for effect. 90, 91. Got that good cutter, change up, and once in a while a slow curve.
The 1-2 is up and in. Cubs are 10 and 3. They have the best record in baseball. The Cardinals are 7 and 6. 3 games back in the Central.
Well, good take on that changeup.
Full count, 3-2.
We talk about this a lot, that the Cubs do a real good job preparing their hitters what to look for in certain counts, and you get the sense that Fowler was pretty well locked in on that changeup the way he took it.
And a leadoff walk. So his on-base percentage will go up over 500. He's now reached 29 times, most times on base of any Major League player here early on. Here's Hayward. 0 for 4 last night, but he lined out a couple of times and 2 excellent sliding catches in right.
Yeah, if the narrative was Hayward came back to St. Louis and had a bad night, that's a false narrative. Yeah, he took an 0 for, but he had 2 rockets. And made a couple, as Len mentioned, outstanding plays in the field.
Garcia gave up 1 hit, a 6th inning Domingo Santana single against Milwaukee his last time out. 13 strikeouts, finished the game allowing just that 1 hit. And a vintage performance. Mentioned injuries. He's had a lot of arm trouble in his career. Tommy John surgery 2008, left shoulder surgery 2013, thoracic outlet surgery 2014.
20 starts last year, went on the DL with a groin strain. The year before he made 7 starts, and 2013 9 major league starts. Still 29 years of age.
Born in Reynosa, Mexico. He went to high school in Mission, Texas.
Cubs as a team batting just .206 against left-handed pitching so far this year.
That ball hit hard, and it eludes the shortstop Tejada. They will get the force play on Fowler. So ultimately, kind of the same result, just different base runner now at first. Another ball hit well by Hayward.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling a little snake bit here. It's a hanging breaking ball by Garcia. There's nothing Fowler could do here. Kind of ironic, right? If there's nobody on base, Hayward's got himself a knock.
Yep. And you see that 20 in the dirt right behind second base in honor of Hall of Famer Lou Brock. More on that coming up as they honored him before the game tonight. A strike on Bryant. Timing.
So Garcia gets pretty good run on his two-seam fastball. Good tailing action away from the right-handed hitters. Does typically do a fair bit of work inside too. He'll throw that cutter down and in under their hands.
That will be an infield hit as Carpenter will just put it in his pocket. Swinging bunt single. Chris Bryant.
I guarantee
how baseball works.
I was going to say Chris Bryant will not make eye contact with Jason Hayward. You can see Jason out there laughing. KB had 2 hits in the ball game last night. One of them a soft flare to right field. The other one a solid single.
So 2 on, 1 out for Anthony Rizzo. Hitless last night. He did reach on a hit by pitch. And right down the middle for a strike. There is a threat of rain tonight. And we're hoping, if anything, it's just a passing shower. Same goes for tomorrow afternoon. Ground ball, second base, bobbled by Colton Wong. They only get 1. There's some shaky glove work by the double play combination, and this inning is still alive. Second and third for Jorge Soler.
Yeah, you wonder if it's starting to get into the heads of these Cardinals infielders. It's been a topic of discussion here in St. Louis, the struggles they've had, and Wong in a big hurry here to start this double play. Never really secures the ball. He's able to scramble and at least get an out, so no error, but off the bat, you're thinking double play.
2 outs in the inning, and the pitch inside, ball 1. Soler hit the ball hard a couple of times last night, even though he went 0 for 3. Reached on an error in the 7th on a seed at the shortstop of Ledmes Diaz, clocked at 115 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's the one where the infielder wants to bring his glove up to the official score and go, here, you go catch that.
Swing and a miss on a changeup. Been a good place for Jorge Soler. Fans just getting settled in. And the 1-1. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Jerry Davis is the home plate umpire tonight. Jerry's been at this a long time. Typically has a fairly small zone.
Two and 2. I don't know if this makes you feel good or not, but I was looking at the game logs of that Astros '88 start with all the 6-inning starts. Pretty sure Jerry Davis worked one of your starts.
Probably, yeah.
Does that make you feel young?
Yeah, it's good that there's still people in the game that were around when I played. You know? For the most part, it's just clubhouse guys, and trainers, occasional umpire.
3 and 2.
Dave, the bus driver out in Southern California.
Yep.
There's that cutter. Soler doesn't bite. Got a base open, so I suspect he's going to be a little cautious here. Might go back with that changeup or try that cutter to the back door, to the outside corner.
Swung on and missed, and the inning is over. Cubs don't score, and the Cardinals are coming up. Night, but they still lead the majors in runs per game at 6.54. Here's how they line up, brought to you by Southwest. Carpenter, Hazelbaker moves to right tonight. Holiday's in left. Matt Adams spelling Brandon Moss. Randall Grichuk gets his first start of this series. Molina, the catcher. Wong at second. Ruben Tejada making his Cardinal debut off the DL. And the pitcher Garcia off to a very good start.
Cubs defensively, they've been good this year. One game, they have one real shaky game, just 7 errors overall for this club this year. Outfield, Soler, Fowler, Hayward. Third to first will go Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, Rizzo. Montero behind the plate. And the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Cubs here tonight is the veteran right-hander Jason Hamill. Through 2 starts. Outstanding work. A win, a no decision, a 0.75 ERA. Lifetime 2-3 with an ERA approaching 6 against St. Louis and an ERA above 6 for Jason here in this ballpark.
And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on MTC Technologies in Mediapolis, Iowa. Here is Matt Carpenter. Sinker on the outside corner. Double and a walk last night. Cardinals have hit 21 home runs, tied for 3rd in the majors. 6 have been pinch hit home runs.
There's a whole lot of teams that will go this entire season without hitting 6 pinch hit home runs.
In the air to left. Soler will move over toward the foul line and will not have a play.
Carpenter also punched out a couple times in the ball game last night in a critical sequence with runners on 2nd and 3rd. And John Lackey punched him out. It was just beautiful execution. Ultimately got him to swing at a changeup down and away.
Still 1-2 on the Cardinal leadoff man. Another lefty on deck, Hazelbaker, and then right-handed hitting Matt Holliday. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Good start for Hamill. Uses the curveball this time. When you think of Jason, you think primarily of that slider. But he's been using that curveball a little bit more here this year. He also has a straight change.
That'll bring up Hazelbaker, who's made starts at all 3 outfield spots. Center field last night. Right field tonight. Oh, 1. Make it 0-2. It's wide. Cubs starters have the best ERA in the majors, 2.18 coming in. Right back to Hamill. 2 down.
Spot on so far for Hamill, hitting all his spots. They threw him that one waste pitch fastball away, and then right back inside on the hands with a knuckle buster.
Ball 1 on Matt Holliday. Day game tomorrow. Kyle Hendricks and Carlos Martinez in a battle of right-handers.
one thing you don't want to do with Holiday is leave a breaking ball in the strike zone. If you're going to throw him a breaking ball, throw it off the plate, down and away.
Chris Bryant's play, and he makes it. And Hamill goes 1, 2, 3 in the first. Cubs baseball on CSN is presented to you by State Farm. Xfinity high-speed action. They honored Lou Brock before the game. Real Hall of Famer. And they've got a Twitter campaign, hashtag STLIsLou, L-O-U. So they're celebrating the city of St. Louis, raising money for children with diabetes. And they had a lot of Cardinal greats out there to greet Lou Brock. Bob Gibson, Tim McCarver, Whitey Herzog, Ozzie Smith.
Red Schoendienst was down there at 93 years of age.
And Lou got a key to the city.
Probably got like 4 of those, don't you think?
I would think so. Ben Zobrist takes ball 1.
Must be they keep changing the locks on the city.
Outside 2-0. Zobrist got his Kansas City World Series ring. And it was delivered to him here by Royals general manager Dayton Moore. Got a quick look at it in the clubhouse. Beautiful ring. The best part of it is it's wearable, if you know what I mean.
Wasn't so over the top.
No, it wasn't.
No. I got a quick peek. That's a good arm side run I was talking about, but well off the outside corner. And Zobrist got a knock last night, snapping a long hitless stretch.
Ball 4 and a leadoff walk. A couple other quick notes on Lou Brock. 19 years in the big leagues. Started with the Cubs. Got traded to St. Louis 1964. So vast majority of his career here. All but 50 of his 938 career stolen bases were as a St. Louis Cardinal.
Well, over 3,000 hits. High average hitter. He had good power too.
His 3,000th hit came against his original team. A strike in the outer edges against Montero.
Yeah, I said Jerry was usually hitter friendly, but that one went Garcia's way, and even against a fellow mask wearer. Montero's going to have to have a chat with Jerry about that. Hey, come on, dude. We're in the same union, kind of.
0-2.
Tough to get any kind of a running game going against this combination of Garcia and Molina.
Kyle Schwarber had surgery on his left knee today in Dallas. ACL and LCL. Dr. Daniel Cooper, who is the Dallas Cowboys team physician. And you got him. 1 out.
Cub fans, let's go. The Cubs return home next Tuesday. It's April 26th, start of a 6-game homestand. The Brewers and the Braves are in town in that order. Tickets are going fast. Visit Cubs.com today and plan now for the games you want to see. A reminder here, the Cubs have added metal detectors at all Wrigley Field gates. Make sure you give yourself extra time to enter the ballpark. For additional information, visit Cubs.com/security.
Now Addison Russell. Zobrist at first, 1 out. The pitch. It's a strike. Garcia reaches down, grabs a rosin bag, will rub his hand on the dirt on the mound between pitches quite a bit.
You saw Russell take that long look down at Gary Jones and thought maybe something was up, so he flips one over there to first base. Zobrist a few years back would run a little bit, try to steal some bags. Not so much anymore.
In the dirt. Let's see if Garcia grabs a rosin bag again. He's done it for the last pitch and then throw to first. Here he goes. Okay, so he's 3 for 3. Works from the third base side of the rubber. Fly ball the other way. This is Hazelbaker. For this thing to fizzle out here, but you've got the pitcher up with 2 outs. Always like that leadoff walk. The Cubs have done that each of the first 2 innings. They're now totally distracted. Jaime Garcia, he went to the rosin bag and then the dirt.
Just trying to find the right mix.
I guess so.
That's going to freak you out, isn't it? You're going to be watching him all night now. He's in your head. It's taking you out of your game.
Yeah. 1-0. Downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes.
We got a new game for you. It's called Dirt or Rosin. You can play along at home and guess what he's going to go to first. It's strictly dirt here. So your choices after each pitch are dirt, rosin, both, or none of the above.
2-0, hit foul.
No wagering, please. For entertainment purposes only.
Right. Have you ever seen a guy do it that often?
Well, no, but I haven't really noticed. You've got me locked in on it now.
There it comes. He's behind 3-1. 70 degrees, a little cooler than last night.
Well, Jason Hamill had a nice year with the bat last year. Certainly capable, but might have him take here with Fowler on deck the way he's been swinging it. As long as you're swinging a strike, and it was a strike. So now Adams will back off and play behind Zobrist over there at first base. He'll be moving with the pitch.
There goes Zobrist, and Hamill bounces foul. The guy tries to hide that grip from the hitter. Another 3-2. Hamill bounces one. Ate up Adams, but he made the play. It goes 3-1, and the inning is over. Scoreless early. Chicago for taping of Beer Money, the trivia show that tests your sports knowledge in exchange for cash. The next taping is this Thursday at 6 at McDivitt's in Palos Park. Beer Money presented by Coors Light. Questions may range from dirt or rosin to the 1988 opening day 5-man Astros rotation. We're like dropping knowledge on you.
Wasn't Joaquin Andujar was I think he came along later that year.
He may have.
Maybe he was there the year before. You never know. That's what he was famous for saying. When he said there was one word that describes baseball, you never know.
Matt Adams. I find the construction of this Cardinal roster pretty interesting. Mike Matheny has a lot of guys he has to, quote, keep happy. A lot of teams have starters and then they have bench players, but he's got a lot of guys who are used to playing a lot and who may not. This is only Matt Adams' 4th start.
Yeah, and they're not, Adams a left-handed slugger. Brandon Moss also a left-handed slugger who plays first base. So it's not like, you've got a platoon situation there. Now, they've talked about Matt Holliday playing some first base. Tommy Pham got hurt early. He's on the DL right now. So Holliday's been, out in the outfield. Yeah, so when you've got those pieces that they know going in, like, hey, you're part-time, you're going to face righties, you're going to face lefties, here's how it's going to shake out. Now it's almost like he just has this collection of guys that he wants to make sure he keeps involved.
Yeah. We have not seen Jed Jerko make a start in this series. Piscotty out of the lineup tonight. It does allow you, kind of to go with the hot hand.
Yeah, the hot hand, but it also, like the Diaz kid's been swinging it really well. He made an error last night, so he's not in there tonight. Colton Wong had been struggling, so he was benched for a couple days. You almost get the sense that Mike's letting those, guys bad night. All right, I'm going to sit him down then.
Grichuk sat out a couple of nights. Line shot, base hit. Cardinals have their first hit. And it will bring up Grichuk. I mean, look, we're 2 weeks into the season. Grichuk started the year's first 5 games, 1 for 15 with 8 strikeouts. In his next 5 games, 6 hits, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 6 walks. Now his last 2 games, 0 for 7, and he wasn't in the lineup yesterday. So I guess the lesson is hit and you'll stay in the lineup.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that's a lesson you want to deliver necessarily, because guys are going to put a lot of pressure. And he may be telling them something completely different.
Correct.
That may be just that's the way it's shaking out. But he may say, "Hey, don't worry, I'm not punishing you here. I just got to use other guys."
Yeah, it could be all part of a big plan to give guys days off and to get everybody into the mix. But I think every manager would tell you, maybe privately, not publicly, that sometimes you can have too many options. Right?
Well, at some point, I think you have to decide, who's going to be your quote-unquote everyday guy or almost everyday guy. But, I'm sure they didn't expect Hazelbaker to come up here and do what he's done, so they're riding him as long as they can. Grichuk had a nice year last year. 17 home runs. Had a .548 slugging percentage. Those 17 home runs coming in 323 at-bats.
Called strike. It's 1-2. They missed Johnny Peralta. Even though Diaz has been really good offensively, they've now used 4 different starting shortstops. And they've committed 7 errors already combined. Peralta will be out at least until June. He's got a torn left thumb ligament. Real steady player. 3-2.
Pretty good pitch there. Could have gone either way. This time, Jerry Davis deems it a little low. Grichuk only walked 22 times all last year. He's been a little bit better in that department so far this year. A little more discerning. See what he does here on 3-2.
He hits a ground ball into left. And the Cardinals threatening after going 10 innings to start this series without a run.
That breaking ball stayed up for him. High breaking balls usually get hit pretty hard. Well, certainly a double play candidate. Molina hits it on the ground a lot, and he doesn't run well.
6 out of 13 against Hamill in his career. Now they've got Adams caught as both runners took off. Oh, that's a huge first out. Now the Cardinals run into out number 1.
Now 1-5-6 on your scorecard, and I think Mike Matheny just thinking because of the potential double play, he's going to start his base runners with a little hit and run.
This time they execute the rundown perfectly.
In the perfect world, from the Cardinals' point of view, Grichuk gets into scoring position there, but I don't think he just felt comfortable that Adams would be able to stay in that rundown long enough.
Chris Maloney, the third base coach, will give Molina a couple of instructions. Molina has hit .308 in his career against Cubs pitching. Oh and 1. He's had a season's worth of games against the Chicago Cubs. This is his 157th Major League game versus Chicago. A reminder, top of the hour on Comcast Sportsnet, we will be sending you to Blackhawks pregame live. And this game is on CSN Plus. Go to csnchicago.com for a channel listing if you are unsure where that is. So you've got Chicago fans rooting for the Blue tonight against the Red, and in Chicago rooting for the Red against the Blues. And the 0-1 is shot foul to right. Nothing, bottom of the second. Cubs won 5-zip in the opener last night.
Hard end with good action might get you the ground ball you're looking for. Heater away.
Out. Yep. 93 from Hamill. They don't really love seeing 94, 95 from Jason. They don't want him to overthrow. Like good action on that fastball.
Yeah, sometimes last year you'd see the velocity would be up, but the command would suffer. And the movement.
Runner goes. Molina with a fly ball to deep left. Solera's back. He's at the wall. It's off the fence. Fowler will have to pick it up. Hopefully Jorge is all right. Grichuk scores. Molina to third. And he's safe. He slides around the tag by Chris Bryant. It's a triple. Soler is up on his feet. That's good news. And it's 1-0 Cardinals.
And Jason's getting hurt with the breaking ball in this inning. Grichuk got him on a breaking pitch. Molina gets one here. Almost knocks it out of the ballpark. I thought Jorge was going to haul this one in. Breaking pitch was down a little bit, but he puts a heck of a swing on it. Looks like Molina thought it was going to leave the ballpark.
It's Molina's 87th career RBI against the Cubs. You don't really think of him as a guy who hits triples. He's got 6 in his entire career. And now the infield in against Colton Wong. Bryant at the edge of the grass. Everybody else back just a few steps because Molina does not run well. Oh, 0-2.
Be hard pressed to say that that ball should have been caught out there, but certainly could have been caught. Or, hey, just drifting a little bit. Good pitch.
Called strike 3. So that's out number 2.
Beautiful pitch when he needed it. You see Montero set the target inside, right on the inside edge, bottom of the knees. When Wong didn't like it, but when he reviews the video, he realized that Jerry Davis got it right.
So everybody back as Ruben Tejada gets his first plate appearance of the season and as a Cardinal, released by the Mets in spring training, quickly signed by St. Louis after the Peralta injury, and then he got hurt at the end of spring training and started on the disabled list with a quad strain. He was activated yesterday. Remember, he suffered a broken leg in the playoffs on the Chase Utley slide. Dodgers and Mets. He pops it up. Rizzo calling, and that will end the inning. An RBI triple by Yadier Molina, and it's 1-0 St. Louis. In-game live on CSNChicago.com, presented by State Farm.
Well,
Yadier Molina with an RBI triple. I would say one of the more unlikely outcomes of that at bat, as you would have kind of ranked what might happen.
Yeah, you would have gotten pretty good odds on that. Not a big part of his game, the 3-base hit. Could have round second, get about halfway to third, and all of a sudden you're running in quicksand. But that could have been worse, so Jason able to limit the damage. The pickoff was key. Garcia has walked the leadoff man in each of the first 2 innings. Cubs haven't been able to take advantage. Fowler
took a free pass to start the ball game, and Takes ball one on a fastball. Garcia, 29 years old, 6'2", 215. 22nd round pick of the Cards in 05. The year before, the Orioles took him in the 30th round. He did not sign with them. The Baltimore scout who recommended him said the O's had a test all their draftees had to take before they signed, but he did not do well, apparently because of a bad English to Spanish translation. He took the test in Spanish. The scout's name, Joel Almaraz, ended up going to St. Louis, and the next year he was taken by the Cardinals. So a lot of times it's about the scouts, right? And if they change address, that can affect the future of a player. As he strikes out Fowler.
What did he take? What did they give him, the Wonderlick or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the test was, but there's Hayward. The other part of the story was Garcia ended up being declared ineligible to play for his high school team his senior year, and had thoughts about going to Mexico and pitching in winter ball, but that would have taken him out of the U.S. draft system. But the aforementioned scout helped convince him to stick with the plan to get drafted again, and he went back to school to get his diploma even though he couldn't pitch. And the connection between these two guys, not only were they teammates last year, but 2010 Buster Posey won the National League Rookie of the Year award. Jason Hayward finished second, Garcia third. One fouled back to the net. And the 1-2 ground ball, backhanded play. Oh, Colton Wong just robbed Jason Hayward of a hit. Cardinals have had their issues defensively, but that was a whale of a play by Wong.
Jason Hayward's not lining into it out. He's having somebody make a spectacular play on him. Wong, boy, that's just great balance. Stay under control. And got him. Pretty slick here by Wong.
Change up low and away on Chris Bryant. Single in the first. Right back to Garcia to end the inning. We go to the last of the third from St. Louis. Cardinals 1, Cubs 0. Tonight on CSN Plus, two of the nation's top men's volleyball programs rekindle their rivalry as the Loyola Ramblers face the Lewis University Flyers in a huge MIVA semifinal matchup. First serve from Gentile Arena starts at 7 p.m. on CSN Plus.
Loyola, they're a powerhouse.
Bump. 1-0 Cards.
Bump, set, spike.
Yep, you got it. You got all the terminology down. You've been a good volleyball player. 6'4".
Couldn't jump much.
Just hold your hands up.
I can do that. Pretty good at doing that, actually.
Garcia can swing the bat a little bit. And he does, and he breaks the bat on a ground out to Zobrist.
Wednesday, May 25th, Kerry Wood will bring the heat. Fans will get a chance to swing for the fences, competing for the Battle of the Bats Home Run Championship at Wrigley Field. It's your chance to step up to the plate for Chicago's kids and support the Wood Family Foundation and Cubs Charities. For details, visit CubsCharities.com. I believe Derek Lee has committed. Ted Lilly. Sure there'll be many luminaries there.
Another broken bat roller, this time to the shortstop, and Russell gets Carpenter.
And we're trying to answer Garcia, who was awfully efficient in the top half of the inning. 2 quick outs here. Carpenter, really good hitter, but the Cubs really held him down. He had less than 200 against Cubs pitching last year.
As Hazel Baker digs in, couple of Cubs minor league notes. Double-A Tennessee, right-hander Paul Blackburn, first rounder 2012, 3 starts in, has given up 1 earned run. He's 2-0 with an .050. Cubs first round pick from last year, switch hitting Ian Happ. Off to a good start. Had a 2-homer game for Myrtle Beach. And Jason Vossler, we saw him a lot in spring training. He's playing at Myrtle Beach and hitting .325 to start his season. Slicing drive to left, just out of play. Iowa Cubs back-to-back rainouts in Round Rock, and they're in New Orleans tonight.
See, yesterday they played 5 batters into the game and then just deemed the field too wet.
Yeah. Trailing tonight 7-5 in the 6th. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's it for the Cardinals. After 3, they lead the Cubs 1-0.
Everybody, Cardinals lead to 1-0. We head to the fourth. Buy your ticket now through the Cubs special events page and show your support for Chicagoland Law Enforcement Night, which is Wednesday, May 11th. The Padres are in town. Specially priced tickets will be available in the terraced reserve section of the ballpark and include a special Cubs law enforcement baseball cap. For more details, visit Cubs.com/special events.
Rosenbag has been good to Jaime Garcia tonight.
He might lead the league in rosin.
So 3 scoreless innings after a 1-hit shutout his last time on the mound.
That was a good shot of him there, head down, focusing, gathering himself.
Pitch to Anthony Rizzo is cued off the end of the bat, foul.
I don't know how you really gather yourself, but that's what he was doing. Usually you gather like items, gather things. Anthony hit the ball pretty sharply last time up. He has not made a lot of hard contact here of late. Teams have been pounding him in. He's had a hard time clearing that front side and getting the barrel to it. It'll come, just a matter of time.
1-2. Soler moved up to the 5 spot in the order, is on deck. So Zobrist down to 6 tonight. And here's the pitch, and it's popped up. Garcia looking for some help, and he'll get it from Carpenter. One away, and here's Jorge Soler. And if you just joined us and you missed the news, Cubs mourning the loss of former pitcher Milt Pappas, passed away at age 76. Cubs chairman, executive chairman Tom Ricketts issued a statement today, sending his thoughts and prayers, and the entire Cubs organization feeling that way, to his friends, relatives, and fans, as, quote, we mourn his loss. Miss seeing Milt at the ballpark. And coincidentally, a lot of his contemporaries at the ballpark here in St. Louis tonight, as they honored Lou Brock. One and one, the pitch. 1-2.
Jorge, a strikeout victim, first time up. He got beat by a 3-2 changeup, a perfect pitch by Garcia. Not biting this time.
Three and two. So working some deep counts.
Garcia, I believe he used 104 pitches last time out in his complete game win over the Brewers.
So Soler takes the walk.
He was not going to be fooled by that changeup. 3 consecutive changeups there by Garcia. None of them really close enough to get Soler to bite. So that's his 3rd walk here tonight. He'd walked only 4 in his first 2 starts.
talking with Joe before the game, and he said, yeah, I heard Zobrist had an 0 for 24. And yeah, it's true. He doubled last night to a snap that long 0 for. Joe said, I didn't even notice it. And it's because of all the other things Zobrist does. Works deep counts. He'll still take his walks.
Well, I think the other part of it too is he's a pro, and he's not a guy who's going to be in the clubhouse or in the dugout smashing his helmet and screaming and yelling, and so you don't realize that he's going through a tough time.
Team continues to win, scoring runs for the most part. So yeah, some 0 for 24s are very noticeable.
Yes.
Not this one.
Some guys, when they're scuffling, they're scuffling. You can tell by the body language, the way they react.
Now Ben knew it because he was joking with Brandon Hyde after the double about saving the ball. You might not know your hot streaks, but you know the offers.
Yeah, this game is all about dealing with adversity. So much of it in the game. You have to be able to turn the page, fresh outlook each day.
And a line drive, base hit. So on base the first 2 times tonight.
Walk and a knock, short strokes him there, just a little punch into center field. Switch hitter, Ben, average-wise, has been better from the right side. That's his natural side.
Montero struck out swinging in the second. You got Tejada playing directly behind second. Carpenter has to play tight over third.
And they've got Adams playing behind Zobrist, so Ben measuring a pretty good lead there. You can't go out of your way to upend a middle infielder, but you can still take him out, and that's what he's thinking.
Awkward cut that time by Montero. It's better.
And Mickey struck out last time on a high cutter across the top of the zone.
One missed away. Cardinals lead on an RBI triple by Yadier Molina, scoring Randall Grichuk in the second.
Ooh, wow.
Gave him that one.
Wow.
Well off the outside.
He got him on his last at bat too, and on a real borderline pitch. This one's clearly off the outside edge. You have to be two different players, don't you? When you're a catcher, you're the hitter, and you're the catcher. When he goes out there back out there next inning, he might talk to Jerry a little bit about that call, depending on the outcome of this at bat. But at some point, you just kind of have to put it behind you and try to keep that relationship with the home plate umpire.
Here it comes. Line drive into left, base hit. Soler will set up shop at third. The bases are loaded for Addison Russell.
Well, they won't have that conversation after all. All's well that ends well for Montero. Good bit of hitting there. Punches that one the other way. Reach out and slap it the other way.
Trailing by a run, they've got a great chance here. Cardinals set up in double play depth. Cornermen pulled in a little bit. And ball one. One and one.
Well, he loves that changeup to right-handed hitters. He's thrown a ton of them here tonight.
Strike two. If Garcia can hold up all season, that'll be a big boost for this rotation. His last full season, 32 starts, 2011. It's been 5 years. So 2 seasons of 20 starts, only 9 in 2013, 7 the following year. But his numbers have always been really good. And he comes up with a big strikeout. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Jason Hamill, with 2 outs.
He had Addison caught in between. Once he got the swing and miss of that first changeup, he Addy thinking soft, and he was able to catch the inside corner with a fastball. And then he comes back with that changeup yet again to finish him off. Maybe a little overly anxious with the bases loaded. Really shorten up in the outfield for Hamill. He is capable of, and we've seen him do it, driving it over their heads out there.
Three on, 2 down, and the pitch. Low and in.
I mean, it's understandable that they would tighten up for him. He's more likely to dump it in front of them if they're playing their normal depth than he is to hit it over their heads. 2 outs, a single will score 2.
Cubs pitchers batting .207 collectively, with a major league leading 5 RBIs.
Like he drove one in last night.
There have been 2 home runs this year from a pitcher, Jake Arrieta, and actually 3. Arrieta, Maeda, and a base hit. Here comes Soler. Zobrist behind him. Throw to the plate will not be made. Not only does Hamill come through, he knocks in 2, and the Cubs have the lead.
It's really good when they follow the script like that.
Yeah.
Talking about how good the Cubs pitchers have done in the batter's box, and Hamill delivers. Well, his last start, he had an RBI double. This time he drives in 2 with a solid single to left.
Cubs lead 2-1. A strike on Dexter Fowler. Now, Bumgarner, Maeda, and Arrieta, the pitchers who have hit home runs. Cubs staff coming through with the bat. And the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Garcia worked his way through Russell by striking him out. Could not get the pitcher.
He doesn't want to throw that fastball in the zone. Most of the fastballs have been show pitches here tonight, and he's trying to get swings and misses at the breaking stuff and the changeup.
Three and one.
This is not unlike the first at bat start of the ball game where he's trying to get Fowler to chase that changeup out of the zone, and Dexter wouldn't do it then, hasn't done it here. We'll see if he ultimately decides to challenge on 3-1.
And he walked him.
Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach for the Cardinals, out to have a chat with the veteran lefty. Jason Hayward is due for a little good fortune here. Joking with him in the clubhouse earlier this afternoon. Man, you need to use the handle. Stop. The barrel's not working out for you. You need a little flair somewhere.
Cubs have 6 RBIs in this series. Half have come from pitchers. Lackey and Hamill. Here's Hayward. How about just a little bleeder?
Yeah,
right?
He's got that coming to him.
Right-hander Matt Bowman getting loose for the Cardinals. From the wind, here's the 0-1. Hayward, fly ball down the right field line. It's going to be foul, and it'll drop onto the track and into the seats. Garcia really laboring here in the 4th. Called strike 3. But the Cubs get the lead on the 2-run single from Hamill, and it's 2-1.
is the official kids club of the Chicago Cubs. Team up with Clark as a member of Clark's crew and receive kid-specific perks, experiences, and merchandise. Visit Cubs.com/kids to sign up your young Cubs so they can be part of the fun all season long. You never know if Clark's in a slump. He's always smiling.
Yeah.
He's built for this game. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. Takes it one day at a time. Stays within himself.
Cubs snapping Jaime Garcia's 15-inning scoreless streak with a Jason Hamill 2-run single. So they lead 2-1. Holiday, Adams, and Grichuk for St. Louis. Holiday, 36 years old, native of Stillwater, Oklahoma. And he rips it into left. That man can hit. As you mentioned last night, he is a career .306 major league hitter over 13 seasons.
Yeah, so and it wasn't just about Colorado, obviously. He's been able to hit for a high average here.
Yeah, his OPS as a Rocky was .938, but with the Cardinals, .883, which is still terrific. Adams on a foul strike.
Big City, is that what they call this kid?
Yeah.
Big City. The big part is quite apparent. He's a large human. Doesn't walk much. He hasn't walked yet this year. 6'3", 260 according to the Cardinal media guide.
From Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, went to Slippery Rock University.
What's their nickname?
Well, I figured you would know. That's kind of your bit.
Maybe I do. Maybe I'm sitting on it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm not.
Adams missed a bunch of time last year with a strained right quad. Line shot, right field. Fair. Fair ball. Adams on his way to second. There's a play on him, and the ball gets away from Russell. It's a double, and they're at second and third with nobody out.
Second line drive off the bat of Adams here tonight. Solid single first time, ringing double into the right field corner. This time, Big City delivers the double, and Jason Hamill, after giving his team the lead, has got to work really hard now to preserve it.
Adams got up very slowly.
Now, Hayward's throw was on time. That's unfortunate for Russell. Couldn't handle it. I mean, he's all the way out there on the warning track. It's a lot to think about with that big guy lumbering in. I need to try to make the catch, supply the tag all at the same time. Some bodies starting to move around out there in the Cubs bullpen. Nobody throwing yet.
Pulled foul. Yeah, you hate to give up any runs, but you don't want to give up the lead. So the Cubs will give up the tie here in an effort to keep Adams from scoring.
Just trying to minimize the damage here. We're only in the 4th inning. He's been leaving some of those breaking pitches on the inner half to the right-handed hitters. Grichuk got last time.
One fouled away. I think their nickname is The Rock.
I was trying to hear Dave Dial and Andrew Kirby doing the Prudential College scoreboard in my head.
Right. Pitch number 50 for Hamill, and it's low. Dave Dial, that's a good one. Was it Dials? I think it was Dials.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hamill gets a sign from Montero. And the pitch, he pops it up. Runners will have to hold here. Zobrist makes the catch. That's one.
Elevated fastball, tempting. Grichuk took the bait and couldn't do anything with it up there. He skies it to Zobrist.
Molina with the run-scoring triple in the second. Here's a pitch. Fly ball to right. So Hayward trying to get behind it. Going to be a play at the plate. Here's the throw. Holiday to the dish. He is out. Jason Hayward keeps the Cubs in the lead. Welcome back to St. Louis.
3-time Gold Glover. Shows you yet again why. What a throw.
Showing off that strong, accurate throwing arm from right field.
Yeah, and you're spot on. Not only strong, but on the money. Perfect one-hop throw. Montero out in front of the plate.
Yeah, it wasn't in the lane.
Dives back to apply the tag. So good work on both ends there. Great concentration by Montero with that freight train coming down the third baseline.
So the Cubs still ahead by a run. Hamill getting some help, but boy, how about getting out of that trouble?
Second and third, nobody out. He needed all of his genius, and he used it. And he also used Hayward.
Bryant, Rizzo, and Soler due. Called strike. Hey, make sure you follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. Brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. We will talk with Patrick in game tomorrow. 12:45 first pitch.
Infield hit, a little slow roller to third, and then a ground ball back to the mound for Bryant tonight.
Popped up by Bryant, foul territory, and Adams and Molina will not have a play. By the way, that's a good send by Chris Maloney. That's the one-out send. It took perfect execution to throw out Holiday.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the right call. Fun to watch that play develop, though. You knew, medium deep fly ball with Hayward's arm out there. You knew there was going to be a chance.
There's always an assumption when a guy gets thrown out on that play to end an inning that the next batter would drive in the run with 2 outs. But it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, and a lot of times you defend that send based on where you are in the batting order. But for me, even if you had your 3 or 4 guy coming up in that situation, that's a send.
That's low. Full count.
When Bowman was up last inning. If he loses Bryant here, he'll probably pop right back up. Ooh, had a pitch. Just pulled off it a little bit. He's had some long innings.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
He has stayed committed to that changeup, hasn't he? He's really leaned heavily on that offering.
Strikeout number 6.
Yep. Chris reviews the video on that one. If it's that center cut fastball that he didn't do anything with, he will regret.
Oh, and 1.
Wow. I'm gonna have to amend my Jerry Davis as a hitter's umpire.
Looks like Adams will have some room. With 2 outs, it's Soler. Walking a run in the 4th. Swing and a miss.
What makes a changeup like that so tough? You know, hitters can recognize spin on a breaking ball and make an adjustment. When a guy's got a real good changeup working, you say, yeah, they need to make an adjustment, but it's very difficult to read that pitch out of his hand. Soler walked last time, and the last 3 pitches were all changeups out of the zone.
And he got him. Everything was 81 or 82 in that sequence. Still 2-1 Cubs.
Social gathering. Plan a day or evening at Wrigley Field and enjoy special perks only available inside the ballpark. Cubs offers special ticket packages for groups of 15 or more. Visit Cubs.com/groups. You ever do that when you were a kid? Go with a big group to the ballpark, take the bus?
I don't recall doing that, no. Went to the ballpark, but don't remember going as a...
Fond memories of doing that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You go to Olympic Stadium?
And Jerry Park. And then, yeah, years later, Olympic Stadium.
Cubs lead 2-1. Hamill's been a lot more efficient than Garcia so far tonight. Garcia 98 pitches through 5. See Hamill at just 54. Starting the 5th. Oh, 2. Now 1-2.
Yeah, and Garcia due up 3rd in this inning. So he's likely done, and there's Sung Hwan Oh, the Korean. How did I do?
You got it.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Ouch.
He hit him that time. Almost hit him on the previous curveball. So the leadoff man has now reached 3 of the first 5 innings.
And It's one of the more frustrating things for a pitcher to hit a guy with a breaking ball like that. It's one thing if you're trying to push somebody off the plate with a four-seam fastball, trying to throw a down and in breaking ball, and you pull it a little bit, and he's not able to get out of the way.
Ruben Tejada.
Brandon Moss is out on deck to hit for Garcia. Wong certainly capable of stealing a bag. Straight steals in play. They could play a little hit and run here with Tejada.
The pitch in the middle of the zone. Got a shot, but he just got back in. Got a final. Indians 3, Mariners 2 in Cleveland. Carrasco over Miley. Three hits for Francisco Lindor. Keeping a very close watch on the runner. Mets pounding the Phillies 11-1. They're in the 9th inning in Philadelphia. That's a bunch of home runs.
Yeah, breaking out the long ball.
Neil Walker's hit 2. Curtis Granderson, Lucas Duda, Yoenis Cespedes, Michael Conforto.
Phillies have scored 3 runs in that series. They scored 2 in game 1. Were shut out yesterday. See the Syndergaard, like the first 14 fastballs, only one was less than 100 miles per hour.
Wow. He's a starting pitcher. A 2-1. Now 3 balls and a strike. A lot of attention paid to the runner. Now it's got to be on the hitter.
Yeah, this is all about now Mike Matheny's confidence in Ruben Tejada in his approach at the plate. If he feels he can trust him to lay off a ball 4 and put a strike in play, he might start Wong here.
So Brandon Moss on deck for the pitcher Garcia. Fouled away, 3-2.
Same thinking here. I think it'd be more inclined on 3-2 to send him.
He got him on a half swing. Good comeback by Hamill.
Hamill slide piece baffling Tejada. Strikeout number 4 for Jason tonight.
So here's Moss. We mentioned how dangerous their pinch hitters have been. They've hit 6 home runs off the bench.
He's got 2 of them. Well, he had a tough go of it last night. 4 at-bats, 4 strikeouts.
Another throw to first by Montero. And Wong is back in safely. Reds with a 4-1 lead in the 9th over the Rockies. Robert Stevenson got the start. Alfredo Simon scratched the biceps injury. Stevenson, terrific. 7 innings, 1 run.
Yeah, he's a big-time prospect. One of the better pitching prospects out there.
Jorge De La Rosa only went 2 innings for the Rockies. Last night, Trevor Story hit his 8th home run in his 13th game. Two and 1. Outside, 3 and 1. Well, he got behind Tejada and then came back to strike him out. He hit Wong with 2 strikes to start the inning.
You know, Moss far more dangerous than Tejada, so he's got to be careful here with this 3-1 pitch.
Popped up. Russell out, Soler in. It's the shortstop's play.
How about the Rays and the Red Sox scoreless after 9? Red Sox with just 1 hit in the ball game.
Bryce Harper with a grand slam. Nationals beat the Marlins in Miami 7-0. They're 10-3.
So is that 5 of the last 6 games? Harper's gone deep.
Got a 4-game homer streak snapped.
Is he going to surpass Mike Trout as the best player in baseball?
Great question. Steven Strasburg's 3-0 with a 125.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's going to have a big year.
Nationals are managed by former Cubs skipper Dusty Baker.
Strasburg punched out 10 tonight in 8 innings of work.
Slow start for Mike Trout. Cubs held him hitless in the first 2 games of the season. Hamels 0-1 on Carpenter. There's a curve low and outside. Hamels been around for a while, made his major league debut with the then Devil Rays of Tampa Bay 10 years ago. Best success he's had has been with the Chicago Cubs. 2 different stints. This is his 51st start as a Cub. He's got a .334 ERA with Chicago. Runner goes. Throw to second. Safe. Tying run in scoring position as Wong steals second. Meantime, 2-1 on Carpenter.
Thought Wong might be going earlier in the inning. He chose not to. This time he picks a pitch and goes. Throw just a little bit short, so Russell has to handle that short hop. And even if it carries all the way to the bag, it looked like Wong would have beaten it.
Here's a pitch. A fly ball to left. Easy play, Soler. He's in. He's got it. And the inning is over. To the 6th. Cubs 2, Cardinals 1 from St. Louis. Show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Into the bullpen, Final Boss and Stone Buddha, nicknames for Song Wan Oh, 33 years old, signed as a free agent prior to the season. From Korea, and has pitched in Japan as well.
He's the all-time saves leader in the Korean League, KBO. And the last couple of seasons he pitched in Japan. Led the league there in saves one year and tied for the lead the next. Stone Buddha. He's a strong guy. Built more like a catcher. 5'10", 205. Got a swing and miss slider. He's been getting a whole lots of swings and misses with that pitch. Lots and lots.
Two and one. In the air to left.
Contemplating a trip to Wrigley Field, the Cubs suggest taking public transportation. The Cubs offer a free bike check It's located by the Addison Red Line station. If you drive your car, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For information, visit the A to Z guide on Cubs.com.
One strike on Montero. Kind of a bizarre story, as O'Deal's on an 0-1, and it's on the outside corner, 0-2. He was fined in January 10 million won, which is the equivalent of about $8,300 in U.S. currency. He broke South Korean gambling laws for betting at a Chinese casino. Former Cub pitcher Chang Yong Lim, his ex-teammate with the Samsung Lions, also fined. So they have very strict gambling laws, I guess, in South Korea. I did not know that. According to the Associated Press story, and I'm quoting, South Korea has only one domestic casino for locals. 16 others only admit foreigners. South Koreans are banned from betting large sums of money at venues other than the designated local casino. So there you go.
So if you're going to get gamble, you got to keep it in the local economy, I guess.
And a shot earlier of his interpreter in the dugout. And the 1-2. Slow breaking ball is high. 2-2.
Yuji, I believe his name is. No.
Recall.
Montero has been victimized here tonight. He's had two fairly egregious calls. He managed to get a base hit in his last at bat. Nothing to do about this one because it's strike 3.
.94, and that's ball 1. Okay.
Yeah, he got a little more giddy up on that heater than I realized. He likes to throw the slider away to the right-handed hitters. Away. And right there.
One and two. And he got him on strikes. Goes 1, 2, 3.
MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
If you are wondering why you heard a big round of applause at the end of the previous half inning, they showed on the big board here the Blues scoring the first goal in that game against the Blackhawks. So you just may occasionally over the final few innings hear the crowd get excited, and there are a lot of Cub fans here for stuff that happens in the hockey game.
Highly unlikely they'd be replaying the Blackhawk goals.
That's
but
true.
You never know.
1-0 on Jeremy Hazelbaker. Make it 2-0. Cubs lead this game because of Jason Hammel's bat. A 2-run single in the 4th, and he's pitched very well. He's gone 6 innings each of his first 2 starts, allowing 1 run total in those 2 outings. Zobrist to Rizzo.
Yeah, he's in the last couple innings especially, but frequently tonight he's been able to come back from being behind in counts. He's either pitched his way back into the count or made a real quality pitch in a hitter's count, as he just did there. Makes people nervous in the dugout when you're 2-0, 3-1, but it hasn't really hurt him yet here tonight. In trouble in the second. The pickoff of Adams really helped clean up that inning. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits, including the RBI triple by Molina, and really pulled a rabbit out of his hat in the 4th when he had 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, and was able to pitch his way out of it with a little help from the right fielder.
Adam Warren was up earlier. Now it's Grimm and Richard. Matt Holliday. Strike 1. Brewers beat the Twins 6-5. Got a 9th inning run. Scooter Gennett RBI single. So the Twins, who lost 9 straight to start the year, then won 4 in a row, dropped to 4-10. They're headed back to Milwaukee for the next 2 nights. Twins and Brewers. Holliday strikes out. That's 5 for Hamill.
Ugly hack there by Holliday on the good Hamill slider.
Chris Bryant heads across the way and will play at rover position, I suppose. Short right, as they shift against Matt Adams. He's 2 for 2.
Adams kind of like Jason Hayward in that he's a big, strong guy with all kinds of power, but he's more of a line drive type hitter.
.3-0 with Grichuk waiting in the on-deck circle, or at least near it. Nobody ever actually stands on it these days. Three and 1. Usually it's all the weighted bats and pine tar rags around that actual circle. That stuff. And we'll try another 3-2. Reds held on 4-3 over the Rockies. That's a final now. Cubs will head to Cincy tomorrow after the game. 4-game series against the Reds starting Thursday night. Montero held on. That's a foul tip. Strikeout. 6 for Hamill. He's leading 2-1.
Your chance to catch the best matchups in baseball. Join the season ticket holder waiting list. It's easy. It's free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list.
Left-hander Kevin Segrist, who gave up 3 home runs over the final 2 games of the division series last October. 2 to Rizzo, 1 to Schwarber. So the lefties got him in that series. And here's what he's done so far this year.
Hey, he's off to a good start. He's picked up a couple of wins in 6 appearances. Punched out 9 and 5 2/3. He's got a real good changeup. Throws hard, 93, 94.
Javier Baez will bat for Jason Hamill, who continued the Cubs season opening string of starting pitchers going at least 6 innings in 14 consecutive games.
Ooh, look
out. Oh, man. It sounded like part of it got the bat. That is a very dangerous area up near the wrist. Maybe the left hand or wrist or knuckle.
I couldn't tell. Yeah.
He's going to stay in the game and head to first. So that's good news.
It just came off the DL.
will bring up Dexter Fowler. They're waiting to see.
The Cardinals are thinking that maybe they didn't hit him. Yeah, I mean, because it sounded like bat, didn't it? I mean, if it didn't hit him, he really sold it.
Yeah, they're going to challenge.
I don't know if they have a better look down there in their video room.
Time for our Forsythe replay review.
Seems like they're discussing whether this is a reviewable play or not. So maybe the question is that he bunted at the ball. Maybe that's what Mike is asking. I know he didn't go out there with any specifics. He just said, "I want you guys to take another look."
Well, he did the headset thing, which
But I mean, he could be arguing that he bunted at the ball.
Yeah, but I don't think that's reviewable. I think it's whether it hit him or not is the only way you can actually engineer manager's challenge. Let's see. I don't see how you're going to be able to determine it didn't catch part of his hand. So just saying it hit the knob.
Well, yeah, a lot of if the hand and the bat are simultaneously hit, it's going to be a hit batsman. You could argue, I guess maybe the way his bottom hand came off the bat, that if it hit the knob and then deflected off his forearm or wrist, it may be foul ball.
So hard to determine what it hit first. Kind of an easy challenge for Mike Matheny. We're late in the game, and even if he loses his challenge,
foul ball.
Yeah, so they will overturn it.
And I think that's what they saw. I think they saw that the ball hit the knob of the bat and then deflected off of his wrist or hand. And so now go up there and hit a double.
That's a double whammy for Baez. He not only doesn't get to take his base, but it's a strike. Got a lot going on there, doesn't he?
Yeah, you got to get all that gear back on.
Swing and a miss. But not.
That's that power changeup from Seagrass. This pitching staff, a lot of real changeup artists. You know, Waka, Rosenthal, the closer's got a dandy. Garcia rely heavily on that pitch here tonight.
Well, that's a tough turn of events for Javi Baez as he strikes out.
Down with the off-speed stuff and then the elevated heater. Get him.
0-1 hit foul.
Two teams that have scored a lot of runs this season, but the pitching has been really good. The starting pitching both nights has been outstanding. Mike Leake, starter for the Cardinals, ended up being charged with 4 runs last night, 3 earned in 7 innings. He was outstanding early. Lackey throughout his outing was brilliant.
Guess who hit 2 more home runs tonight? Bijan Rodemaker for AA Tennessee. He's off to a sizzling start. Fair ball. Fowler will make the turn, and he's got a double.
Ho hum. He just keeps on rolling. 2 walks on a double tonight for Fowler. 3rd in the league in the batting average and on base percentage coming into play here tonight. This fastball is getting in on him, and he just shoots it the other way.
Hayward 0 for 3. Robbed of a hit in the 3rd inning by Colton Wong. And the play of the game defensively throughout the potential tying run, and Matt Holliday at the plate. One and 2. Well, he's had an impact on the other side. It was last night, 2 sliding catches, and then this beauty tonight.
Yeah, just perfect technique, setting up behind that ball, carries a little momentum into the catch. Perfect one-hop throw.
2 and 2. Two. It's going to hold up for Holliday. Throw back to second. Not in time. Another well-struck ball by Jason Hayward.
Yeah, just got to stay the course, trust the process, keep trying to battle, and sooner or later balls are going to fall in for him.
Chris Bryant would love to get this extra run. The Cubs lead by just 1. And the pitch. High drive to center. Lots of room for Grichuk. Inning over to the bullpen. With the Cubs leading 2-1. tomorrow afternoon, series finale as Kyle Hendricks will start for the Cubs. Coverage starts at noon with Cubs pregame live. It's presented by Fields Auto on CSN Chicago. First pitch 12:45. Here's Adam Warren.
Warren has not had a lot of work. Appearing for just the 4th time. He's pitched 3 innings total in his 3 outings. Last worked 2/3 of an inning on Sunday against the Rockies. You get Grichuk, Molina, and Wong here in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball, curveball, slider change for the versatile Warren. Start and relieve.
So the bullpen gets the final 3 innings. And here's Grichuk. One for 2 with a run. Warren debuted with the Yankees 2012. He will make the play 1-3.
That's the way you like to do it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Get your outing started.
Grim and the busiest of the bullpen arms in these first couple of weeks, Travis Wood. Molina takes ball 1. 151st career appearance for Warren. Mostly as a reliever. He did make, however, 17 starts last year, 20 total in the big leagues. He can kind of do whatever you ask.
And that's, he's willing to do whatever they ask. Ultimately, I think he would like to become a full-time starter.
Pitched at the University of North Carolina.
Born in Birmingham, Alabama. Went to high school in North Carolina and then on to Chapel Hill. 4th round pick of the Yankees in '09.
Major League debut didn't go so well. It was against the White Sox. Got knocked around. Couldn't get out of the 3rd. And then was sent back to AAA. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. I'd say that's long forgotten now, but you probably never forget your Major League debut. Whether it's great or horrible.
As you were describing that, I said, that sounds really familiar. Short outing against the White Sox with the Yankees. That's exactly how I started. Harold Baines hit a long home run.
By the way, and we don't, I guess we can ask him later, but it doesn't appear as though Javier Baez was acting that ball hit him. After the review, they determined the ball hit the bat before it hit his arm. So it hurt.
Yeah, he
just happened to hit back first.
Yep. You could hear it. You can hear the, and then that one replay we had when we broke it down, that appeared to be the case. Knob, then forearm or wrist.
3-0 on Wong. Tejada on deck.
Wong's got a little pop, so you got to be careful here. You don't want to just groove him a fastball. Outer third and down. That works.
Ball 4. Well, what can you say about this starting rotation? I mean, just the 6 innings stat alone is impressive. It has taken all kinds of pressure off the bullpen. Every start but one has been a quality outing, and in the non-quality start, that was John Lackey, right? The Cubs scored 14.
Yeah, he gave up some early damage. Gave up, I think, 4 or 5 runs in his first 3 innings, and then settled in after that.
Wondering if Mike Matheny might use Diaz in this spot, and he will.
Yeah, Diaz has been swinging it well. Had a bunch of extra base hits already. Ball comes off his bat with a little extra juice. So this is a little scouting report review going over Diaz and how they want to pitch him.
So we talked earlier about Mike Matheny juggling his lineups, trying to get everybody time. Where it really, I think, gives him an advantage is late in ball games. He's got a lot of good options off the bench. So you got Diaz hitting here. You've got Piscotty now on deck. And Warren just holds the ball until somebody asks for time. Oh and 1. Hamels' ERA now through 3 starts is 1. I think he went. He did. Call made by the home plate umpire, Jerry Davis.
And nice job by Jason. Outstanding job by Jason here tonight. And this is a ballpark that he's not had a lot of success in. Aledmys Diaz from Cuba.
There was a dispute regarding his age. He was actually younger than originally thought after he defected, and MLB declared him ineligible to sign with a major league team for a certain amount of time, and it was shortly after that ban expired when the Cardinals signed him, 2014. Three and 2.
Yeah. Interesting situation here. They probably feel like they have him set up to go inside, but when you go inside there, you risk slugging. You know, if you stay away, stay down and away, yeah, maybe he pokes one to right field for a base hit. If you make a mistake middle end, you're talking extra bases.
Runner goes on the 3-2 and taken for ball 4, just below the zone.
It's either a really good take or a real lucky take. We've seen Jerry Davis open that zone up at times tonight. Joe Madden wondering where it was. Might have been a little bit low.
Yeah, Jerry's been calling that pitch. How did he take it? Stephen Piscotty now. We know how Joe feels about the call. So the tying run now in scoring position, that's Colton Wong. The pitch is a strike on a fastball. Crowd getting into it. 43-8-41. Packed into Busch Stadium tonight.
Warren, a 4-pitch pitcher, but difficult when you're working an inning, sometimes 2 innings at a time, to have confidence and command of all those pitches. On the pen, he's mostly fastball slider.
And Warren gets out of it. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks in the inning. Still 2-1 Cubs after 7. Nothing winner last night in game 1. They've got a 2-1 advantage tonight. Jason Hamill with a 2-run single and 6 quality innings. And big right-hander Jonathan Broxton will work here in the top of the 8th.
What did I miss?
You missed some classic broadcasting by me. I saved my best for when you left for the facilities. Diaz stays in and plays short. You'll have to catch a replay later.
When Broxton come in, did you call him Big Jonathan Broxton?
I did. I said the big right-hander. Anthony Rizzo will lead it off. From the stretch, the pitch. Nope.
Anthony fighting himself. Now he's got to worry about the strike zone. Try to clear your mind, one pitch at a time.
Two strikes on the Cubs first baseman.
Buxton's been around a long time. Broke in with the Dodgers in '05. Had a nice run there and moved on to the Royals. And then he's making a tour of the NL Central. Reds, Brewers, Cardinals. Last 3 seasons.
Pirates are out west. 1-0 at San Diego. Pirates lead in the bottom of the second. A's beat the Yankees 3-2 in 11. Jed Lowry tied his career high with 4 hits. 2-2.
Now Lowry's a good offensive player. Not a real big guy, but he's got some pop. Can handle a fastball. Buxton used to throw about 98. Doesn't do that anymore. Still has good life on the heater.
It's 3-2, so 0-2 to a full count. Ball 4. Soler has not put a ball in play. 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a run. Fastball strike. Royals beat the Tigers 8-6 in Kansas City. 5 RBIs for Salvador Perez. He had a 3-run homer in that game. Foul tip by Soler. 0-2.
Every now and then Anthony will surprise you and take a bag. He probably would not think about it in this situation with Molina behind the plate, especially with nobody out. Different look for Soler. His first 3 at-bats, first 3 plate appearances coming off against Garcia, and he saw a ton of soft stuff. A couple of heaters here from Broxton so far. Play Soler pretty much straight up. Carpenter is shaded towards the line, but that's just late game defense trying to take away an extra base hit.
Jaime Garcia gave up 2 runs in his 5 innings. Son Juan O, Kevin Segrist, each with scoreless innings. And now it's Broxton. He walked Rizzo. He's 0-2 on Soler on the pitch. He struck him out.
A couple of good heaters and a hard strike to ball slider moving off the outside corner. Good execution by Broxton. And Soler goes down swinging for the 3rd time tonight.
Ben Zobrist, 1 for 2, a walk and a run. Diamondbacks and Giants scoreless in the 3rd. Ray and Kane, a matchup in that one. Diamondbacks a 9-7 win in 11. Last night, Jake Lamb tied it with a 2-out homer in the 9th. Braves whip the Dodgers 8-1.
I believe that's the Braves' first home win this year.
You are correct.
They had been 0-5.
We'll see the Braves at Wrigley Field on the upcoming homestand. So Atlanta has won 4 in a row after losing 9 straight to start the year. Tyler Flowers went 4 for 4. Pulled deep and foul to right. Two balls, 2 strikes. Short lead by Rizzo. Back to Broxton. He'll get the out at first. Rizzo at second, 2 gone.
Might have had a shot at Anthony at second base, but I think he made the smart play. Would have been a high risk play. Couldn't afford not to get an out here. So that provides an opportunity for Montero here. Got Russell on deck. Lilliquist is going to go to the mound with some instructions from Matheny as to how aggressive they want to be with Montero with the base open. And Montero should take this time to sidle up next to Jerry Davis. Hey, big guy, you probably owe me a couple here. Got a couple real tough strikes on him that were off the plate.
Two-1. Late innings. Game in the hands of each team's bullpen. Broxton really slow playing it here. Now the pitch outside on Montero.
Well, looks like they're going to pitch around him.
Russell on deck. Two and 0.
Tried one away, tried one up, wouldn't chase either. Now they're going to go ahead and put him on.
And ball 4. Here comes Russell. No hits in the inning, couple of walks. Cubs have now taken 6 in the game. Fouled away by Addison Russell. Well, knock on wood, we got lucky with the weather.
Yes, we did
tonight. We heard we could deal with some rain. So far, so good. One and one.
Buxton listed at 6'4", 305. Second round pick of the Dodgers back in 2002, debuted in 05.
And Broxton will run it halfway over. So 2 walks, no runs. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Cubs. In the Chicago-St. Louis two-sport rivalry tonight. And Travis Wood will face the top of the order for St. Louis. Couple of lefties to start it. Carpenter and Hazelbaker are due.
Travis, the busiest man in the Cub bullpen, on for the 8th time now. No wins, no losses, a 4.15 ERA, 2/3 of an inning in the ball game last night.
It's Matt Caesar in for Soler in left. Carpenter fouls off. So Caesar will lead off the ninth. He's in the ninth spot.
Carpenter doubled off Wood. Oh, it's that whole Wood Carpenter thing. Carpenter doubled off Travis in the 8th inning last night. Did not score. Woody punched out a couple in that inning. In 2/3 of an inning. Strop came in to finish it up. Been an interesting evolution, hasn't it, for Travis Wood?
Yep. Oh, and a base hit. He's going to say he's gone from a guy who pitched every 5 days to everyday Eddie.
Yeah, and a guy who, you know, lost his job as a starter and now being trusted with the ball here in the 8th inning.
That'll be it for him, however, in this spot. Joe's going to make a change. Tying run is on base with nobody out. So a pitching change. Here comes Pedro Strop. 2-1 Cubs. During this pitching change is Pedro Strop. Will come on, runner on, nobody out.
Strop off to a good start. No wins, no losses, a 1.69 ERA. 5 1/3 innings of work. He struck out 6. He hasn't walked anybody yet. Well, Joe handed the ball to Travis Wood with a couple lefties due up, but after Carpenter reached, I think he just said, you know what, I'm just going to go to my power arms here. Last season, left-handed batters hit 184 off Strop.
The pitch. Good start. 96, well placed for a strike. Want to check out the replay after the game, but Crazy situation in San Diego. I guess a balk was called on a Padres pitcher. They got together and said it was no balk. Then Clint Hurdle went out and argued. Then they said, well, actually, it is a balk. And Andy Green went crazy and he got ejected. So I'm very curious to see what actually happened. One on Hazelbaker. Make it 2-1.
Some early season heroics here for Hazelbaker, batting .351 coming into play tonight. 3 home runs, 4 for 4 in his Busch Stadium debut.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. He just chased ball 3. As time has gone on, Pedro has used his fastball less and less. Just under 48% of the time, according to Fangraphs, so far this season. 50% last year. The year before, 60% of the time he threw a fastball. So slider percentage keeps going up, and he's incorporated that splitter too. What will we see on a 2-2?
Splitter.
And he got him with it. Down and away. 1 out. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's nasty. Right over the top with deception and great movement.
Here's Holiday. Carpenter's still at first. 1 out in the pitch. Backhanded by Montero on a pitch in the dirt. Jason Hamels paid to pitch, but he has the big hit tonight. 2 out, 2-run single in the 4th. And the Cubs have led since. 1-1 on Holiday. Slider missed inside.
Carpenter is not a base stealer. Not to say he wouldn't try it, but he rarely does. He has all the attributes you want in a leadoff man except for that. He's patient, works walks, sees a lot of pitches, has power.
High chopper to third. Bryant able to get it before it hit the turf again. And he gets Holiday. Carpenter at second with 2 outs.
Well, good break on this ball, and then a long reach to prevent that short hop. Under control for the flip across the diamond.
Chris Bosio with a visit before Matt Adams bats.
Adams a strikeout victim last time, but right on the ball first 2 times up. Line drive single and a bullet into right field for a 2-base hit. Try the splitter first pitch.
Two and 0.
Adams has not walked yet this year. I think he's about to. 3 consecutive split finger pitches out of the zone. Adams wouldn't bite. Now they're going to put him on.
So there's the walk. And it brings up Randal Grichuk. Two-one Cubs, 8th inning. The pitch by Strop is a strike on a slider.
Boy, a big pitch there to get the jump on him. Now he can expand.
Oh, and 2.
Strop came in, just got 1 out in the ball game last night.
Swing and a miss on the slider, and the inning is over. Pedro Strop gets out of the 8th. Cubs still lead by a run as we head to the 9th.
The rookie right-hander Matt Bowman on for the Cardinals. He was a Rule 5 draft pick from the Mets back in December. Right, collegiately, yeah, for the great Scott Bradley at Princeton University.
Hails from Washington, D.C. And and Matt Caesar.
Fastball slider change for Bowman. A max effort guy, 7-16 last year at Las Vegas. Led the PCL in losses, had a 5.53 ERA.
Real good soccer player in high school. Pitched and played shortstop. Swing and a miss. Makes quick work of Matt Caesar. Bowman was a position player and pitcher in college.
Well, Fowler had a chance to go to Harvard and play basketball. And then he was going to go to the University of Miami and play baseball. Signed a contract instead.
Ball one. So this is the near Ivy League matchup.
Now it's Princeton against the guy who turned down Harvard University.
There you go.
He's got a change up too.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks, 2 outs. So with Andy Green getting ejected, do you know who's managing the Padres right now?
Mark McGwire.
Mark McGwire, yeah. He's the bench coach. They trail 2-0 to the Pirates as they go to the 4th. They're going to
got out of his game a little bit there, a little anxious. Tried to ambush him, chase that running fastball.
Well, he could go 0 for 5 tonight, but that throw to the plate still looming as the biggest play of the night. Backhanded play by Wong, and he gets the out. Diaz kind of gave way there for him. Bottom of the 9th, Hector Rondon coming in. Time for the toast of the game, presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Certainly Jason Hamill, part of the mix tonight with 6 solid innings and the go-ahead 2-run single. We've got to include Jason Hayward for this great play, keeping the Cubs in the lead.
That was an inning where the Cardinals had second and third, nobody out. Hamill got a couple outs on his own, and then Jason Hayward made the big throw. So it all comes down to cases here in the bottom of the 9th. Hector Rondon on to try to finish this one off and pick up his 3rd save in as many tries.
Binny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. So Hamill and Hayward can raise a toast after this one. And we know the Cubs celebrate all their wins. Molina, 95 and a strike. So this is April 19th, Rondon's first outing in 8 days. Ground ball, base hit, right field.
There's that off-field stroke of Molina.
Yep.
Well, you figure Rondon's going to be strong this evening. The question is, will he be sharp?
And that will be it for Yadier Molina. They will pinch run for him. Is that the backup catcher, Fryer? I think it is. Eric Fryer.
Didn't have a whole lot of room there on the right side, but he was able to squirt it through.
Colton Wong pops to left. Caesar coming over. And he's got it in foul territory for out number 1. It's a little tricky in that area as the stands jut out to within a couple of feet of the foul line.
Yeah, really had to scramble over there, deal with a little traffic.
Diaz walked in the 7th as a pinch hitter, now playing shortstop. And he sends one in the air out into right center. Fowler's got it. 2 away. And it'll be Jed Jerko off the bench.
Jerko's first at bat as a pinch hitter this year. He's hitting a .192, limited duty. He's got power.
Here we go. Called strike. On a slider.
.16 home runs last season for Jerko with the Padres. 23 home runs back in 2013. That was his rookie year.
Careful. Way foul.
Yeah.
It's a Rob Deere foul ball.
Don't want to leave that slider on the inner half.
Well, you make a good point. That first pitch of the sequence was not a pitch he would want to make here with 2 strikes. You've got the get me over breaking ball, and then you've got the strikeout pitch.
And I think that's the play here. Well, you can go hard down and away, heater or slider away, but stay away from that power.
And that doesn't help. There's now a single to the outfield should tie it. So a wild pitch allows Fryer to reach second.
Not just a wild pitch, but a very wild pitch. Just not a lot of conviction with that one. I'd be surprised to see Montero trot out there and just have a word with him. But he overcooked that one. He didn't want to make a mistake with it like he did the previous one that got hit so hard.
He threw it in the Fryer too long?
He threw it in the Fryer.
Fans on their feet here. Bottom of the 9th. Cubs lead 2-1. The tying run is at second base. The pitch. Still 1-2. Hector at 97 on that buzzer. Well, that's the first fastball of this sequence. 3 sliders, a fastball. Setting up a 1-2. Here it comes. It's outside. And if this game continues, Trevor Rosenthal is getting loose. Two, just got a piece.
Yeah, starting to time up that fastball a little bit better, though. Two pretty good swings by Jerko down in the count at 2 quality fastballs. Joe going for a little walk. Get a little water, take a deep breath, and hope that Rondon snaps off a nasty slider here to finish him off.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Cubs win. He got him on the slider. And the Cubs will go for the sweep tomorrow. Jason Hayward with the big defensive play. Jason Hamill handled the offense and the pitching tonight.
Yeah, solid work by Hamill, and this Cardinal club had been scoring a ton of runs, but 2 ball games, just 1 run allowed by this Cubs pitching staff. A little drama there in the 9th, but great job by Rondon to get Jerko.
So join us tomorrow on CSN for the final game of this series as the Cubs go for the sweep. Our coverage starts at straight up 12 noon Central Time. For JD and our entire CSN crew here in St.